Hello all, welcome back to the channel. So let us review Nifty Bank Nifty price action and we will see what's the plan for tomorrow. So this is the daily chart, and as you can see, market after a trending day on Thursday, on Friday it surprised us all with a huge gap down, and then bulls tried taking control and then bears took control. It was a purely volatile day, and I'm sure most of the option sellers would have found it very difficult to handle that day, considering that the VIX was raising. Now, coming to 15 minutes chart, as I said, this was a huge gap down. And if you see my previous video, this were the zones, the yellow lines were the zones where bulls would have taken control. This is where, I had told that it would be probable buying zones. And as you can see, bulls did take control and they tried taking up the market up. And whenever the market tries to go into the gap region, unless it fills the gap and then goes above, you can never be bullish. There can always be a chances of reversal, and we saw that then the bears took control, and moreover it was a huge gap down, so bears would have come or would have waited for a better levels to sell. And then what happened was pure brutal selling, like one way selling, and you can see it much better here. And there was hardly much exit for the bulls, except for this line, the horizontal support that we had drawn earlier. So here somewhat some relief, and more or less then Nifty went sideways and the closing was towards the low. Now, considering that such a price action has happened, and we have seen earlier also that whenever profit booking comes, it is brutal. It doesn't give much of a chance for the bulls. And I'm sure pretty people, like many people, would have gone long here. The late longs would have got trapped here, and they didn't give you a chance to even exit, not even coming to your cost for you guys to exit. Now, tomorrow the plan will be this zone, unless this zone is crossed, like 18130 to 18150 zones are crossed. I think it would be wise not to go long. It can create a lot of volatility, and considering we had a very volatile day, we can have a most probably a sideways day, like if we open flat between these two zones. And of course on the downside, 1850 becomes very very important, and if we break that, then yeah, possible zones are, we can see 100 points down move until 17950. So if there is a gap down, then I would look, or I would wait for a pullback and then look to sell. If it's sideways, then it's better to wait. Don't take longs. Longs suggested only if we sustain, wait for a good price action, or if price overs here, then one can look for longs. Until then, it's better to stay out of the market, even if it's for a day. But gap down, wait for pullback. If a price action happens, then you can look for 100 points. So that's the plan on Nifty. Now coming to Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty again was much more brutal and much more fierce when compared to Nifty. Again, huge gap down, and this was the zone where these were two probable zones where I said bulls will take control. And within the first minute of the market, the price touched the zone, made a big bullish candle, and it tried going up, and it again went into the, tried filling the gap, and then bears took control. Now I'll show it in 5 minutes chart, and this is where a probable, high risk reward shot could have been taken, considering that these zones, like whatever I have marked. And once price broke below, like you can see that this is a very, like it's a trap for the buyers. Whoever are the late buyers were made to wait, and then a sudden drop with no chance of exiting, and this would have shocked many late buyers, and they would have got trapped. And hence you can see the fierce or the brutal way the price has moved down. And yes, a probable shot could have been taken under this, levels of the 43 350. Wait for a pullback. Even here this was a good zone to take shots. If not all that zones, this zone, you can see in my previous videos the importance of this zone. Once this zone got broken, we could see this, the longer higher time frame trend line or the support getting tested. Tomorrow the plan would be, in case, I think quite similar to Nifty, unless we open gap down, I think it's better to not sell them, like, not buy the markets any, unless this zone gets, like, regained back, or the bulls take control, or the price sustains above this zone. There's no point looking for longs. It has to sustain above 43, so 270, and then we can see a probable move up till 43 740. And remember that bank nifty has still had to, it was definitely at a resistance zone, and you can see that in the weekly chart, one day's move has like engulfed all the bullish days, and this has literally slaughtered all the bulls here. The bears are definitely knocking the door. It all comes down to how the bulls will react at their zones. So wait for price action to form, and then take your trades and look for good risk to rewards. So, and after such a brutal selling, it's, yeah, chances are that we will have a inside day, like, basically a range bound day, and probably Tuesday or Wednesday, we will see a better move. And Wednesday is Karnataka's like election day, and yeah, so that's the whole point, or the whole plan for bank nifty. And yes, chances are that, let's say, if we open cap down below, then yes, wait for a pullback, or it is possible that it can cap down at a very, like, with a large gap down, then yeah, maybe bulls can try taking control, or it might go sideways. So yeah, be careful with your longs, and it's right now, it's a good time to, look for shots, unless we directly open gap down at 42,000 and then bulls take control. So it's very subjective, and I'm trying to explain all the possible points of, how decisions can be made based on where the price and how the price reacts. So that's it for today, and yeah, trade responsibly. See you tomorrow.